Coming up tonight on YCN News, the Glimmerstone Mansion talks champagne and New Year's festivities for tonight. Fires this Sunday cause damage in Claremont, and a possible armed robbery is reported at the Jiffy Mart off Elm and North Streets. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening, and welcome to this Tuesday edition of YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. There's no place to celebrate New Year's like a country inn. With New Year's Eve upon us, YCN News came to Glimmerstone Mansion in Cavendish, Vermont to talk about champagne and tonight's festivities.
I love doing events here. It brings family members together. Everybody is really enjoying themselves over the holidays, whether it's Easter, Father's Day, Mother's Day brunch. We do truly enjoy having group events here, both in the building as well as our barn.
What is the best food to pair with champagne?
Champagnes have a different variety of grape. Therefore, you have lighter champagnes, and you can move into other sparkling wines that are red, rosés, and they can be paired with just about anything. The lighter tends to have more of an acidic value to it, so it's better with citrus and fruits and salads, especially, a Prosecco, which is an Italian sparkling wine, suits well with the first course.
What is the definition of a champagne? Is it the region that it's from?
The name champagne can only be valued in a French wine. Any other wines of that class are called sparkling wines or Proseccos for Italy. But generally, the Champagne Valley in the northern part of France is where we get French champagne.
What is the most popular wine on the Glimmerstone wine list, and why?
Interestingly enough, we have two different seasons. My summer season typically brings a white light wine, and we sell a Ruffino Pinot Grigio, which is our top-selling wine, more so in the summer than in the winter. We do have a Kenwood Pinot Noir, which is a very nice, light but bold wine, more so in the winter.
So what events are going on this evening to welcome in the new year?
This evening, New Year's Eve, we have two seatings here. We're going to be utilizing our 1921 restored piano, baby grand piano. That will be played through dinner in both the seatings, 5 o'clock and 9 o'clock. We're going to finish that up with the 5 o'clock seating that has two choices for desserts, or the 9 o'clock, which will have a midnight chocolate buffet. We're ringing in the new year with music and dancing, a champagne toast, and of course the classic favors with party hats and blowers and confetti. Down in the pub, we'll probably move down there around 11 o'clock at night. Anyone that wants to come down to our English-style pub can enjoy any one of our Vermont drafts on tap. Full range of spirits and some of our signature seasonal cocktails. We have music that everyone can enjoy, and it's got a 1957 jukebox. It's a little eclectic down there, and a lot of people truly enjoy it. We've got a large screen TV to watch the ball drop at midnight, and we hope to have a real good time.
If you're looking for some cool fun, head for the hills. Ski hills, that is. Tonight there will be tubing at Ragged Mountain's new tubing park. Sunday's snowstorm brought 8 inches of new snow. For more information, check out raggedmountain.com. And to the west, head to Stratton Mountain in Stratton, Vermont. At Jackson Gore, games, outdoor activities, and dances will allow families to welcome the new year. To learn more, check out okemo.com. It can be beautiful and dangerous at the same time. We are talking about snow and the winter weather. The weekend snowstorm that left northern New England residents without electricity produced its own hazards, and clearing dense, heavy snow off rooftops must be done carefully. On Sunday afternoon, a Jonesville, Vermont man electrocuted himself while trying to clear snow off a home on St. Pierre Road in Fairfield. Vermont State Police say 48-year-old Harold Goslin accidentally touched a live overhead power wire with an aluminum snow rake. The wire supplied electricity to the home whose rooftop he was clearing. Police say Goslin stood on an aluminum ladder as he worked. The power wire was about 13 to 14 feet behind where Goslin stood, above the ground. During the snow clearing, the handle end of the rake came into contact with the wire. The aluminum rake hand came into contact with the ladder. The shock that Goslin received knocked him off the ladder. Goslin was taken to a nearby hospital where police were notified. An autopsy will be conducted by a member of the state medical examiner's office. Police say Goslin's death is believed to be accidental. After the break, we'll hear about the fires in Claremont this Sunday and the possible armed robbery at a well-known convenience store.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. The Valley News reports 2 fires in Claremont Sunday resulted in property damage, but no loss of life or injuries. A candle left unattended in a mobile home while the resident stepped outside to shovel snow ended with severe damage to the structure. The man living at the mobile home at 21 Brandon Place noticed smoke coming from his home a short time later as he shoveled. The resident tried to get back inside, but heavy smoke forced him out. First responders arrived around 6:30 a.m. The fire was under control about 45 minutes later. 3 rooms inside the home are severely damaged, officials report. It is likely the mobile home will be declared uninhabitable. A portable generator that caught fire in a garage at 105 Strand Road is being cited as the cause of an 8 a.m. fire. An unplowed driveway leading to the freestanding and wood-framed garage slowed firefighters' response. A crew from the city's Department of Public Works had to clear a path for firefighters. The delay resulted in the garage caving in on itself. The homeowner, officials say, was not in the garage when the fire started. With hopes that the new year brings more good than bad, we take a look at predictions for Vermont and New Hampshire.
Thanks, Rose. Well, Lisa, so let's talk about predictions for a second. What do you think are going to be what's the top 1 story that you're going to follow this upcoming year?
I think the roads, their condition in New Hampshire. I'm wondering if, as the political season heats up in New Hampshire, if the legislature is really going to start looking at keeping the roads passable and making a good impression for candidates coming up to the state. And how are they going to fund road repairs? The gasoline tax hasn't been raised since 1992. So are they going to go for a gasoline tax hike, or are they going to spread the burden and look more into casino gambling as an income source to do this?
So we'll see those issues is what you're thinking. That's going to be the core issue, and it's going to be how to pay for it?
Yes.
Well, I have a political issue that's sort of similar,
Okay.
but it's not gas tax. But it is political, and it's who's going to run in the Senate race. We know 2 of the candidates at least on the Republican side,
That's right.
but I'm thinking Scott Brown may get into this race, and if he does, I guess I'd really say it's going to be a national sort of race. I don't think the Republican Party's made heavy bets in the state. But if Scott Brown gets in, I think we'll see a lot of coverage, and we'll probably see a lot more influence from the national party. So if he gets in, that's going to be a race to watch. And if he doesn't, it's going to be one that you and I will enjoy covering. But I don't think they're going to cover it in California or Texas. So
I agree with that. And of course, no one has had a chance yet to speak with Jean Shaheen, who will be under fire and raising, money for a campaign. If she decides to run again, who knows? Maybe she has something else that she's looking at.
I hate to make specific predictions, but I think we'll see her running. Would be my guess if I had to make a bet now. That's what I would say.
Okay.
And it's the question who's going to run against her, but it's going to be a good story.
I agree.
Claremont police report today of a possible armed robbery at a well-known convenience store. The robbery at the Jiffy Mart at the intersection of Elm and North Streets happened around 8:30 a.m. The suspect demanded money from the clerk. The suspect claimed to have a weapon. The robbery is under investigation. Police do not say how much money was taken. The suspect wore a mask and a gray hooded sweatshirt with white writing, plus jeans and white sneakers. The suspects fled on foot and ran toward Elm Street. Anyone with any information is asked to call Claremont Police at 603-542-9538. Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Now Matt McDonald will have a look at our weather for the next 5 days, and he'll take a look at some local college sports.
Thanks, Rose. As you're preparing for the new year tonight, get ready to prepare for some cold weather. Tomorrow we'll have highs in the 20s with a low of 4 degrees. Thursday will be snowy with temperatures dropping to a high of 8 and a low of -4 degrees. Friday will bring a few more snow showers with highs around 5 degrees and lows down to -13, so be sure to dress warm. Saturday will be sunny with highs in the teens and lows around 7 degrees. Sunday temperatures will raise to a high of 31 and lows in the upper teens. If you're in the Heartland area this Saturday, head over to the Public Library on 153 Route 5 for an art reception, featuring work by local Quechee and Charlestown artists from 3 to 6 p.m. Let's look now at college sports. The UVM Catamounts men's basketball team played yesterday against Lyndon State College at Patrick Gymnasium. UVM won 88-48. UVM's David Johnson scored the most points for his team with 20 points. In the first 5 minutes of the game, UVM was up 14-0. By halftime, the score was 45-21. Vermont continued outscoring Lyndon State until they reached their final score of 88-48. This was the final game in their non-conference series of games. The next UVM basketball game will take place in Ithaca, New York against Cornell University. This will be a girls' basketball game taking place on January 2nd at 7 p.m.
Thank you for joining us for this Tuesday edition of YCN News. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And you can watch our programs anytime online at www.ycnnow.com. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for our special New Year's episode of YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman for YCN, your local view. Good night.